thinking, when we begin to take a look at this from that lens, I was like, okay, so there was 34, 32, or 37 prosecuting witnesses, right? Are we focusing on all of them, right, and everything that they said, or are we just focusing on Cassie? Like, what is the jury really supposed to be,
well, they each have
looking at here?
They each have their individual testimony onto the elements of the criminal enterprise.
Of the criminals, exactly.
Right.
And
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I get where you're saying, like, okay, the racketeering is the full umbrella of this. So I to answer my question of what I was asking before, I see the lens of it now. Because before I wasn't getting it. I, for some reason, thought that the sex trafficking was in this as well, and that was the main thing. And then everything kind of spilled out from there.
Yeah, Anthony, I don't know if you said something earlier, Anthony, I wanted to touch on. I thought it was an interesting point here. I want to know why you think this. You said if he gets convicted, you think Trump might pardon him? I was like, wow, that's crazy. I think that'd be a bad look for Trump. But, I mean, you can't rule it out. I was just curious why you think that.
I think that Trump is going to pardon R. Kelly, and I think that Trump will eventually pardon Diddy. I think that they have a personal relationship. I think that, Trump listens to the people in his inner circle, and I believe Diddy is close enough to get somebody's ear in that inner circle. And, Trump is not running, despite what the title of the room. Oh, okay. Wow, that's funny. It changed. Trump's not running again. It was before, Trump 2028, but he's not running again. So, what can you do to him? It's not going to be any more controversial. Biden pardon Hunter, and obviously
the last minute before he crept out, he pardoned his son. He said he wasn't going to.
Would you agree with Trump
pardoning Biden his son? I get the fact that he said multiple times
what R. Kelly was ultimately convicted of.
Oh, isn't it?
He was also convicted of RICO, as a solo
defendant. It was the same thing, yeah.
So, I anticipate both of them getting pardoned. Trump has a pardon czar who's part of his circle, African American one. She happens to be African American. She was convicted of drug charges, and she got the book thrown at her. And, technically, based on the story I heard, she was pretty low level, and she was facing a lot of time, and he pardoned her and made her his pardon czar. And I think that she kind of has some kind of influence, and I don't think Trump gives a damn. The January 6th, that's one of my biggest issues, besides the big beautiful bill, is the blanket pardons for the January 6th. I thought some of those guys needed to sit their ass in jail.
I mean, I know well that he's pardoned. I actually have a woman I know very well in my city that he just pardoned. She was convicted on some federal charges of using charity money for personal purposes and using money that was collected. She was sitting as a judge when this happened, but she was also a city councilwoman. Anyway, she just got pardoned. And I know a few people in his first term that he pardoned. And I don't see him pardoning these two. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Right. And I was gonna say,
what was he having for gain? I see the other people. Yeah, I mean.
Well, not even just what we. Not even just what let me just back up.
The one guy I know pardoned during. The one guy I know he pardoned in his first term started this whole rehabilitation thing for guys as they get out of prison, to get them to go to college, and he was, I don't think he just pardoned so willy-nilly, and I know you think he did with January 6th, but I don't see a pardon on these two. We
okay, fair enough, Abby. So Abby, I just want to respond.
Poly Market probably has a money line on this.
Yeah, they probably do. So Abby, a couple of things. Oh man. So you have Kodak Black, who's since gotten in trouble. I think it was his first term he pardoned him. That's you probably never even heard of Kodak Black. Um, NBA young boy, another, like you would never expect Trump to pardon this guy. Pardon NBA young boy as well, and you probably never heard of him. Like I would be shocked if you're aware of these pardons.
To be fair, though,
So, Larry Hoover, another example, and Larry Hoover is far more reprehensible than anything. As bad as the charges against Puffy are, Larry Hoover is way worse. So,
to be fair, I think I know Kodak Black was a big Trump supporter. In 2020, P. Diddy was not a Trump supporter at all. He even, made some very choice words
he also
about
pardoned Lil Wayne, if I'm not
Everybody,
mistaken.
Hold on.
commute or pardon? Did he commute
Let me
or
say,
pardon? Was it big
that's a good question.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
I would venture to guess he commuted.
Larry,
For the sake of this discussion, it's anonymous.
No, it's not.
I'm saying
It's not
it's
the
anonymous.
same. It's not the same.
No, they're clearly
And
not saying
Kodak
that.
Black
I
was
think for
not
the sake of
American
this discussion.
nation.
So let's
So
just go
for the
through
sake
them.
of this
Larry
discussion,
Hoover
Puffy
was
would be
Larry
coming
was
up.
correct. I'm pretty sure. Go ahead.
Hispanic American.
Go ahead, Anthony.
No, what I was saying is that for the sake of this discussion, it would just mean that Puffy would be coming home from jail. Now, whether or not it's a pardon or the sentence getting commuted, like for the sake of this discussion, I think it's reasonably similar enough that the net result would, pretty much be the same. Puffy would be coming home. But like I said, there's multiple people that he's pardoned that I don't even think you're aware of, Abby. It's not like you mentioned a woman that you personally know and a couple other people that you personally know. He's pardoned some people that would surprise you, Abby.
I don't really have an issue with the J6 ones as much as I have the Larry Hoover. Like they did 3.5 years. Like we all watched January 6th. Maybe you could argue that some of them could have gotten maybe 5 years, but they did 3.5 years. It wasn't like they got out the next week. So I don't know if he pardons. How much time did you want the January 6th to do? And if he pardons Diddy, you can't pardon Diddy within the first if Diddy gets pardoned after 8 years in jail, that's one thing, but Trump won't be able to do that. And he sure as shit better not pardon him within the first, next 3 years. That's nuts.
So I think Trump shows sympathy to people that have gone through lawfare to a certain degree, and was the driving issue with the J6 people is he didn't feel like they were afforded due process. However, he probably plays a little bit of favoritism. Kodak Black was a big supporter of his vocally, and look. Puff Daddy came out, he had some very choice words. I got them right here. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office in 2020. He even raised funds for the Biden-Harris ticket. Yeah, he actively campaigned against Donald Trump in 2020. So I wouldn't jump to a conclusion that Trump's going to just automatically pardon the guy.
Joe, can I say something?
Real quick,
He's
Doctor,
not
just a
even
little
guilty
squabble.
yet,
Just a squabble. It's just a quick squabble, y'all. So Joe, here's what's up. As it relates to the stuff that you mentioned, can be very forgiving. He was very quick to forgive Elon the first time around. Right? So and then the idea, I want to say it was a Rolling Stone article, was the first one that kind of introduced this idea. I thought it was kind of far-fetched when I heard it as well, but there's been multiple sources that, at least that he has access to Trump's ear. So, one, like I said, he doesn't seem to hold grudges. Two, I believe he pardoned Lil Wayne. I believe he pardoned Lil Wayne. And I believe Lil Wayne had said some disparaging things. Okay, commuted. I'm not sure which it was.
I know he pardoned the woman from that sat in front of the abortion clinic. I know that was a pardon. But again, commutation is different than.
We agree, Abby. But Abby, all right. So
We know what you're
just
saying.
want to be
We know what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Abby keeps calling me to the carpet on it, and I'm trying to understand why specifically. Pardon, commute, Puffy comes home. like it is what it
Turn
is.
the lawyer off a little bit, Abby.
Anthony, do you want to make a bet? Do you want us? I'll bet with you that he was not part of Diddy.
So, Papa, I'd have to come looking for you because it could be, at the end of his current term. Yeah, I don't suggest that he's going to pardon him the day after, God forbid, he gets convicted, or, God willing, he gets convicted, depending on your point of view. I'm not suggesting that, but I would certainly be happy to take that bet.
If he
I like that Trump.
You and Trump, if he pardons Diddy.
I can see that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I can see him pardoning.
I like that Trump
something?
was. I like that Trump was bold enough to say that I'll look at the facts. You know what I mean? Like he didn't really have that tone before. Like even with the R. Kelly, like from my understanding, there were some threats towards R. Kelly's life, and his legal team, decided that they were going to submit, a request for pardon because he's, likely to lose his life in this situation. Zero possibility.
As he should.
Even gonna
As
happen.
he should.
Because
he peed on a 14-year-old.
Period. And so I love that Trump was I love how he uses his words sometimes. He was like, I'll look at the facts, because the facts here are just as egregious. So Anthony, it cracks me up. I'm glad you're laughing too. It cracks me up that you are really, you think that this is a possibility after the facts that have been presented.
Okay, so I'm not speaking.
And I'm looking at a lot of his pardons. A lot of them are securities fraud. I mean,
Thank you, Miss Abby.
Abby, I just wanted to respond to
Thank
the
you.
securities fraud. Yeah.
Chris Chrisley.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Angel.
white collar shit.
I just wanted to respond to. She just spoke to me directly. So Angel, and this is something that happens on Clubhouse all the time. We're talking about ideas here. The idea is whether or not Trump is going to pardon Diddy. It has nothing to do with my personal feelings towards what Diddy is accused of. He hasn't been convicted yet. The nature of his crimes, nothing to do with that. I hate the demonization, the whole holier than thou. We're just talking about an idea. Will Trump
I'm talking about your idea too, but it was your idea, and I went ahead and I just kind of read a little bit into, some of his pardons. Oh no judgment whatsoever. I'm sorry that you took that as shade. I'm sorry that you took that as shade. There's no shade towards you. You made a very bold statement, in my opinion. So and your opinion was just very loud. In my personal, I just wanted to turn that dial down a little bit and say, listen, he specifically said, I'll take a look at the facts. And we know somebody who is in kind of similar, situation, just so happens to be R. Kelly, just so happens to be in the same industry, just so happens to be in the same pool of people, who literally just recently submitted a request for pardon because his life is at risk, right? His legal team put together their request trying to get this woman's life to be saved, and there is zero possibility for that. Zero.
Angel,
because of the facts that are involved here.
Can I intervene on one?
Hold on, let me just finish. If you take a look at some of the
I think she's
facts
bugging out right now.
of those who have been guarded
She's
by
not.
him,
No, I think she's actually glitching. Yeah, because
I'm not.
No, she's not. I can hear her. What are you talking about?
Facts
Yo,
of those who
I'll
have
explain to you
pardoned.
why I think she's glitching. I will
There
explain
has
to you why I
never
think she's
been
glitching.
Nice try,
any of them anywhere
I'm
near
happy to
agreeing
explain to you why I think she's glitching.
Stop fighting.
Yo,
Daddy's
good to see you
home.
responsible. Good to see
You too.
So, yeah, man.
Daddy's home, so go ahead, son.
Angel, the idea
Your sister has spoken for a while.
Angel, the idea that we should pardon him because his life is at risk in prison is a ridiculous one. That's one of the most ridiculous reasons. I think it's one of the most ridiculous reasons I've ever heard lawyers assert that someone should get pardoned.
Anthony,
This idea.
Anthony.
Did someone just use the
What's going on, Adam?
I've been trying to get in for like 10 minutes. Y'all been just going back and
Can
forth.
I intervene too also as well? Cause
Why don't you let
How
Adams
about I
go?
land and then everybody?
Right.
I'm sorry a lot, Anthony.
Let's get it.
I never do this, but I think we have.
I'm gonna go after you, doctor. I'm gonna go after you, doctor.
Hold on one second, you guys. We'll let Anthony finish his little bit, and then I'm gonna go Who else wanted to go
Oh,
there?
they're swallowing. I thought he called a swallow on me. Wait a minute. Maybe he called a swallow.
Did you follow it? I don't know.
Are we going back to hands?
Hey man, let doctor go before me. I'll go to
And-
the doctor.
Hold on, too many people. I'm just gonna go with Anthony, then we're gonna ask for the next one. Go ahead, Anthony.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Doctor than me.
Okay. Anyway, so like I said, Angel, the assertion that the reason why he should pardon R. Kelly is because his life is at risk. How about we put him in a secure facility and make sure that nothing happens to him? That would be the answer to that. Not to commute or pardon him. It doesn't make any sense on the face of it. And I think that when Trump says, instead of him just saying outright, well, that's really not on my radar, I have no interest in doing that, he said, I will look at the facts. That leaves the door open. To act like this is not a possibility, and all I'm asserting is that there's a possibility. All I'm asserting is that both R. Kelly and Puffy have his ear. I think that the thing that both of these cases share that's unique is they're both charged with RICO, and they're the only people on trial. This whole racketeering nonsense and conspiracy, and they're the only people on trial. It's like it has the stink of like lawfare to it.
No, what they have in common is that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know I'm triggering somebody. Just 1 second here, please.
Donald Trump did the same.
Let me finish this swallow with him.
And I'm going to land right here. I'm going to land right here.
Let him finish.
I'm going to land right here. Fani Willis tried to charge Trump and Giuliani of all people, with RICO. This shit it's out of it. So I think he could relate. I think he could understand, the prosecutorial misconduct and overcharging, and he might want to take a look at that.
Amen.
May I speak, please?
No, go doctor. Go.
Which doctor?
Get out of here. I got
Capital doctor. Capital doctor.
I got Papa.
Capital doctor.
Get there really quick. But Adams, go ahead, and then Ricky, and then Papa, I think it is. Papa?
And
Yeah.
then
Yes,
let me
sir.
then let me do that piece
And then
with
Angel, you can do
Anthony.
this right
Thank you.
after. Yeah.
Hey, guys,
Joe,
when
Matt.
Matt speaks, stay mute. I don't understand. Why is everybody talking?
Yeah, you guys
What
a
happened?
little bit.
Hey Sarah, can we please let Angel respond? Cause like she got muted
Okay.
and she was making a
Enough.
point.
Quiet.
Matt is running the room. How about everybody mute up and he's gonna go in the order that people are?
Yeah,
Matt, just don't forget, don't forget Angel. Matt, just don't forget.
This is the deal, guys. If you guys don't mute up when Matt is talking, I'm gonna send you guys down. to the
Oh,
audience.
go to bed,
He's being
Sarah.
too nice. He's being too nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's go. Adams, and then Angel. Yeah, I'm not gonna forget you. Don't worry about it. You're good. I got you. It's gonna be a little bit delayed, a little bit. Okay. Adams, and then who's the doctor? Responsible. I got you. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
it's just gonna be after men.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry.
Okay, go ahead, Adams.
Yeah. So I'm absolutely disgusted in some of the sentiment that I'm hearing on this stage. Anthony, I respect you 10 toes down. And, I'm going to choose my words carefully. You've never been in those Southern California situations to have to pick these girls up from freaking like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, reaching out to their best friend from high school, right? To pull them out of a fucking ugly situation like some of the shit that's on trial through this Diddy trial. You've never been in that situation. I have nieces that are out there, right? Some of them that are starting high school next year. Some of them were in high school applying for college right now. So it's very disheartening that people can't understand that two things can be true at the same time. Diddy is a filthy fucking animal, and Cassie is a dirty ass, dusty, wig-wearing demon. Okay? Two things can be true at the same time. Our children in America are not for sale. So for anybody to advocate the fact that R. Kelly should be let out of jail under any circumstance, okay, I find that to be reprehensible, morally repugnant, okay, and absolutely disgusting, okay? R. Kelly should be in jail As a matter of fact, let's go to Project 2025. Because, you know, Matt knows that I've always wanted to meet halfway in the middle. But now listening to this shit, especially after the Diddy trial, and especially after men coming into spaces and saying that the main structure for which a society is taken seriously in their ability to protect the women and the children, people are making excuses for this shit. Let's bring in 2025. Project 2025, the death penalty for anybody who's going to be touching children and raping women. I'm sorry. I'm done with this shit. Okay? It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting.
For the record, I don't think it was saying the agreement that they're just.
No, I'm not saying that Anthony would dare utter those words.
Right.
But the same type of sentiment as to the potential dog whistle that it could blow.
Oh, right.
That puts our freaking nieces and our daughters in fucking danger.
That's fair, Adam.
We're gonna talk about any idea. You know, we're just discussing ideas up here, and I didn't advocate for anything. I was just talking about the likelihood and the considerations.
We got you, Anthony. We know that pretty much from you. Okay?
Anthony
Dr. Rick, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Peace to the room, inshallah, all that stuff. We know, Anthony, that you're not into that, and I can see how a lot of people.
No, Anthony's a cool dude. I'm not gonna ever try to paint that on Anthony. Anthony is a cool dude. I respect him. The defense of, you know, potentially creating a legal pathway for R. Kelly.
Dr. Adams, you're not ruining content, are you?
It's a lot. Sorry.
No problem. I understand. This is one of your big issues, as it is to all of us. But Anthony, we understand that he's not saying that. I can see what he's talking about based on the way that government, and particularly the injustice system, has been weaponized against these black people and people of this country's citizens. I can see that part of it because it's true. How are you going to put a RICO case on people just so that you can completely disassociate the law from what it's supposed to be and use whatever you can possible to destroy these people via a RICO case? It's the same injustice bullshit that we've been seeing for at least the last 20 years in my experience, just from looking at it, and it is 100% a load of horseshit. I can see that. Well, what I really can't see, what I have a little trouble seeing, and love you, Angels, what a queen, day one girl. What I really can't see is like how you could really, in good conscience, relate this to Donald Trump giving these people a pardon. There's some association just because of the way that they've been targeted. But why would Donald Trump take a piece of shit like Puff Daddy, no matter what he did? I don't think half the charges against him are correct, but why would Donald Trump put his head on the line for that piece of shit? Puff Daddy's a piece of human garbage, regardless if the case is true or not. I don't know so much about the other guy because I don't, watch Basketball Wives, and I don't really follow like black culture in that way. R. Kelly, but he's got great music, but I can't really speak to him. But Puff Daddy is a human piece of shit. So why would Donald Trump go ahead and pardon him? It doesn't make any sense to me. Thank you.
Hey man, I respect your knowledge, man. That was, you couldn't put it any more beautiful. But let me hit you with this, man. First of all, we all know that Diddy started a freak epidemic that this world cannot come back from. Alright, that shit was fucking wild. Alright, first of all, any man that get caught with 1,000 bottles of baby oil needs to be locked up for a long time. And I don't know what the fuck he was doing in there, but that was a slippery ass epidemic. Keep it as that, alright? Third of all, bro, no more free R. Kelly. That shit was foul. First of all, the stories of him fucking leaving candy from the school to his car, that's a sick fuck. He needs to stay locked the fuck up. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck if he's injured, if he's in a dangerous species or what. But keep that motherfucker in bars, man. Because ain't no way in the world You finna lead Andy from the schoolhouse all the way to your car like this is fucking Family Guy. Did y'all not see that episode of Family Guy? That was about R. Kelly, gang. Like, no cap, that's the crazy part about it. You feel me?
Wasn't his
Then on
next
top-
tape with the 15-year-old?
He pissed on the 15-year-old and then like I think he fucked like, that was some fucking shit right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've never seen it. But let's talk about fucking what you call him Puff Daddy. I ain't gonna call him that, the diddler. The fucking diddler. Man, this dude here, bro, first of all, and I ain't even trying to like be funny or nothing, but like, bro, he whooped Cassie ass all the way from the fucking bedroom to the damn elevator, and people see this shit on live TV and want to sit here and be like, oh, he's an innocent man.
Wait a minute. Didn't R. Kelly's ex-wife, Andrea Kelly, didn't she go